Hey friends, it's Courtney, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing things a little bit different. So I'm going to be doing a Brandless makeup tutorial, and I will tell you what products I'm using on my blog, but I'm not going to put them in the description box down below. So if you want to know what I'm using, you'll have to go to my blog. However, what I'm going to do is use generic color descriptions for everything I put on my face so that you can kind of follow along from and play along at home if you have, similar products. And this is the eyeshadow look that I'm going to be doing for this. Okay, so because I have oily hooded eyelids, I have to use eyeshadow primer. And I usually skip this step and don't show you me putting on the primer just because I always do it. But this is me putting on my eyeshadow primer. And then I always set this with a setting powder. And basically just swirl this in little circles while I'm doing that. This basically makes it so that my primer doesn't have any sticky wet spots when I go to apply eyeshadow, because if your primer has sticky wet spots, then basically it's just gonna look weird and clumpy and it's not gonna look right. So next I'm gonna use a black matte eyeshadow and start building that up in sort of like a smoky dome shape on my lid and in my crease. And I like to use a fluffy brush, like a sort of fluffy brush. This is the Goss 26S that I'm using for this. And just start building it up to make sure that I'm gonna get the shape kind of where I need it to go to be flattering for my hooded eyes. I have to switch from this brush to a smaller crease brush, and I always like to tap it off, and then I pop it in here and start working it through the crease to figure out how high up to take the black. If you are more talented than I am at doing makeup, you can probably get away with doing this with one brush. I know my friend Carly could do this with one brush, or my friend James Vincent could, but I don't have that skill, so I have to switch to different brushes. And if you make any mistakes or you mess up, just use a Q-tip to clean off the makeup with a little bit of makeup remover. And I'm switching to yet again a third brush to do my lower lid. This is a Delium Tool 775. I also tried a slightly different camera positioning to see if I could keep myself from sinking out of frame, because that is absolutely a struggle of mine, and since I don't have a whole camera team here to help me film videos, I need to do whatever I can to set myself up for success. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the basic shape there, so what I'm gonna do next is go to a light taupe. And I'm basically using the light taupe to blend out the edges of the black into my skin tone with this duo fiber brush. Basically, I'm just taking this color all along the outside of the black because I want to soften it. Now I'm going to take a skin tone shade matte and blend on top of the taupe and the edge of the black just to further soften this. And I'm going to build up another layer of the black on my lid. If you want it super ultra carbon black, I would recommend doing it wet, but I just don't want to do that today, so I'm not going to do a wet. I'm going to just say this is black enough for my taste for today. So the next thing that I'm going to do is use a duochrome eyeshadow that switches from pink to blue to purple to line my eyes. This is a cream eyeshadow, and I'm going to be using it with a bent eyeliner brush. And if you need to do what I do, I steady my elbow on a table or vanity or whatever I'm going to sit by. And kind of use my pinky to help steady my hand, especially today because I seem to be really shaky today. And I'm just slowly sliding this across my lash line. The easiest way that I have found to do liner on my upper lash line is to kind of think of it as drawing little dashes. And then I brought the color along the inner corner into a little bit of the cat eye shape. And I did take the color at the inner part of the lower lid. And now we're gonna do my wing. And again, steady your elbow on the table if you need. And I like to look at my lower waterline and my brow, actually. So to figure out the right angle so that it's not too extreme, because I try them to be flattering on my hooded eyes. And I'm definitely bringing it down to the lower lid. If you don't get the angle just right, like I didn't at first, don't worry, because we're gonna go back and fix it. Not a problem. This is often why I don't even bother with doing wings on hooded eyes, because sometimes I just struggle to get it right. But I wanted you to see that because I feel like so many people on YouTube are like, oh, I can just do this perfectly the first time. And you know, more power to them. I wish I could. I'm not that person. If I didn't have hooded eyes, I probably could do it perfectly every time. All right, well, I am beefing this up just a little bit more. If you have hooded eyes, I am sure you are familiar with this struggle where I'm just like trying to even it out, trying to make everything look great. So the next thing I'm gonna do is fill in my brows. I'm trying to hide the brand from you, so I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to do that. And I'm just trying to make my brows look a little thicker. My brows are really, really thin naturally. I don't really know why. I've never overplucked them. Like, I never even touched my brows until I turned 30, and I'm 41 now, so I don't know why they are so thin. And then I'm gonna try a new brow cream. I'm going to put a pencil on my lower waterline, and it is a holographic pencil. If you don't have like a holographic pencil, like a pink or a lavender, like a light pink or lavender would probably work. I'm gonna put on some mascara. I am way overdue for my lash lift, and I've been bad. I haven't been keeping up on doing my, what are they called? My lash serums. So my lashes are not as long as they should be. All right, so that mascara was not great for me. I'm going to grab another mascara and see if I can get a little bit more va-va-voom going on. I'm gonna use a beige champagne shimmer under my brows just to give it a little bit of a glow. And then to tone that down, I'm gonna go back to my skin tone shade. I'm going to mix together two different like glowy primer type things for this. And I'll show you what they look like before I put them on. All right, so these are the two products that I'm going to mix together for my like primer basically. And I'm just gonna kind of paint that on and then probably use my fingertips to rub that ish in. So there's my Glowy base, and I'm going to use a foundation stick. I have a ton of foundation sticks. And unless I really, really need some 16-hour wear these days, I'm just sticking to my foundation sticks for ease of use and the way you can customize the coverage. I've actually got 4 of my friends hooked on this foundation. They love it. And these are my friends who don't really do much with makeup, and they're like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm using a taupe blush to sort of like help contour my cheeks a little bit. And I'm gonna put on a little bit of a cool pink blush, cool toned pink. I think I'm gonna use that same the same highlighter that I used on my eyes. I think I'm gonna use that on my cheek, which that's usually how I feel I pull a look together. So this is like a champagne beige. I'm gonna put on a finishing powder. And this is basically like a slightly shimmery finishing powder. All right, so I'm gonna grab a lip brush so you can't see what lipstick I'm using, even though I really don't like applying my lipstick with a lip brush. This is kind of like a wine color. Actually, give me just a second. Okay, so this lipstick is more of like a berry pinky purple, which I feel like it works really well. So let me zoom in so you can see the final look up close. All right, so here's my finished eye look up close. Like I said, my lashes kind of suck because they don't hold a curl unless I do the lash lifts, and I'm overdue for a lash lift. But this liner is so pretty. And here's the finished face. I hope you enjoyed this Brandless tutorial. Be sure to click over to my blog to see what products I ended up using. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're wondering what to watch next, go ahead and click over here because I'm going to suggest another duochrome video or my winter skincare routine. Both of those are really good. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.